Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Big D Energy here on the Woodward Sports Network. We are live at Feldman Chevrolet in Novi. You know it. They're Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer. Myself, Neal Ruhl. Terry Foster.
What up?
Darren McCarty. That is the lineup. We have Sam Flannel here in the house. More from him later, by the way. Alex Westfall here on the ones and twos as well. You guys, look, we're going right in here today. Jump into the woodwardsports.com chat thread. Get in there. Get your thoughts in there. Explosive viewership here this morning on the morning show. I'm sure it will continue here. Detroit Lions victorious 31-18
You want to hear
over
something
the New York
shocking?
Giants. What's that?
I even got excited.
What? Well,
because I saw real football for once.
You absolutely
Finally.
did see real football.
Right.
You absolutely did see real football. There are a ton of angles to get to. There's a ton of stuff to discuss. Your Detroit Lions, turnover-creating defense, big play defense, Darren McCarty.
well, it's like if you went back to Friday's show or Thursday, or what we talked about all last week here on Big D Energy, is the fact what was the pathway to win the game? Pathway to win the game is exactly what they did, what the Detroit Lions did. They shut down the rushing attack by, we all agreed, the best running back in the game right now, Saquon Barkley, and held him to 22 yards on 15 carries. But they also turned the ball over. You said that what is it, Neal?
The Daniel Jones Inc. turnover factory.
But the bill had come due.
Right.
And I think that the fact that we went out, the one thing, too, is it's our young guys, our drafted guys, our Brad Holmes guys, our guys on rookie contracts, our guys who are the future that are making a lot of these plays, along with the veterans, too. But I think it's just really, when you win 3 in a row, especially in this league, they're absolutely doing something. And what I saw, the most apparent thing, is not only the confidence of doing it over and over again the same way, but Dan Campbell, like he said, I heard him say to Dan Miller before the game, got to stay out of my own way. We can't, cost ourselves the games. And he didn't. The last few games that they have won, now there's been some suspect coaching along the way, but yesterday in New York, in that weather, was as good a football game that he's ever coached in his life. So the team responded. He's got the guys playing hard for him. So the huge win. I was excited too, Terry.
I'll tell you when the game was over. There was a play in the first half. I think the Lions got 30 yards, and then there was no penalty flag. That's when you say, okay, these brothers are serious, because usually the Lions get a nice play and like, okay, fine. Oh, where's the flag? Oh, there it is. It's coming back. But to me, it's the lack of mistakes. They're not shooting themselves in the foot. They're not clowning. And let me give a education to our young people again. I feel I have to do this every show. Young people think the Lions got their asses kicked for years. No. The Lions were always sort of competitive in most games, but they made so many ridiculous mistakes at the most inopportune time. That's what killed them. But yesterday, there was none of that.
And it really hasn't
been, it really hasn't been that much.
There's an attitude. Can we agree? And you got to, as much as we're going to criticize Aaron Glenn and this defense is playing hard together, and they just kept it going. I mean, wow. The stat on Aleem McNeil through the first half of being there, there's a reason why he shut it down.
He was dominant.
You know what it reminded me of?
Dominant.
Here's the thing. I sat here probably a year and a half ago, and I remember the conversation I had with Mike O'Hara from the Detroit Lions.com, where I asked him a few training camps ago, were you impressed by anybody? And he said this. This is his quote, Mike O'Hara, who's been following the Detroit Lions since like the mid-'70s. He said, this Aleem McNeil reminds me of Bubba Baker, which I thought Bubba Baker played in the late 70s, 80s, and that's a name that I even know. And what we saw yesterday is a guy that loves doing the dirty work, did the dirty work, and then you could see how valuable he was, getting pressure, just like your game plan called out last week, we thought. So there's something there. And again, is he on his first contract?
Yes.
Another guy. So these are guys making
Brad
plays.
Holmes draft pick.
I think people owe you an apology. just when you were defending Brad Holmes earlier on and trying to break down the difference, okay, guys, we got to realize it's two different things here. To the fact is that when they get out there and play, There's still guys hurt. Unfortunately, yesterday we lost Akuda, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to play with a short week, but that's okay. Different guys are stepping up. The Kirby Josephs, my boy got the Rodrigo shirt on today, so that were Feldman. I thought it was apropos, and, out there making plays, and you could tell. These guys are playing together, and I look at the attitude, and to me it comes from the coach. And so hats off to the defense and Aaron Glenn and what Dan Campbell's done. He's sort of stayed out of the way.
WoodwardSports.com chat, though, remember, you can get involved in there. And this one, I made sure I wanted to get to this one here. Andrew Klingerman, 3 in a row. It's time to discuss possible playoff chances. Young guys are finally figuring it out. And look, Andrew, we're going to do a segment on that. We are. Because I don't know that we'll get to do it again this year, but whatever. You got to strike while the iron's hot in this business, man. When a topic presents itself,
we got to
get
that's
to
the
it.
right. That's
Terry,
the right vantage to take, right? We got to jump on it now.
We can talk about it. It
went
from an impossibility to a long shot, a super long shot.
You can't talk tank anymore. That word has been eliminated.
That word has been eliminated, no doubt. It went from an impossibility to a long shot, a very long shot. But you know what, Andrew? You're right. And I'm taking a segment. And we're going to do it. We're just going to scratch the surface. We're going to take a look around. We're going to look at the pathways to it. Because I think 9 and 8 will get you in. So what's the pathway? We'll discuss, Andrew. So make sure you stick with us. And look, guys, I know the Red Wings circled the wagons a little bit. I understand that. There's no room for them in the end here today. I'm sorry. We got a basically 2.5 topic show here today. We got the Detroit Lions. We got the Michigan Wolverines with the Ohio State matchup coming up. I'll be out the rest of the week coming up to tomorrow, so Sam Flannel and I have to have a one-segment discussion about it. I'll let you know where I am on it. Sam Flannel will let you know where he is at. J.J. McCarthy seems pretty mid. We'll touch on that later.
So we're not going to get you.
Don't start with the tone stuff.
No, we're not going to get you trashing Michigan all week.
That wasn't tone. That was just a straight shot.
Okay. Anyway,
it might have been truth, but it was a straight shot.
I think I'm going to tap in on Wednesday from the Bahamas.
Oh, nice.
We'll do that one. We'll do that one.
Why does that feel sort of like, hey guys, I'm going to join you guys? Oh, great, with the knife and just going to twist it in.
No, but we are. We're
with
getting,
cocktail.
I think I'll arrange that. Maybe a little pina colada. We'll see. No, but
that's why I hate you, man.
Why is that?
We're going to be freezing our ass off all week. Neal's going to be in the Bahamas sipping on Mai Tais with his little feet in the water.
Yeah, here's why we're different, dude.
I hope you get bit by a shark.
If I can't do it, I want you to do it. So you enjoy. That's my guy.
That's why you're a good friend.
A teammate.
If it can't be me, it may as well be you.
I hope a shark bites you.
Thank you. That won't happen. You'll never hear me dying.
Shuffle your
from a shark
feet in the sand in the ocean. Shuffle it, because then you can't step on them.
There you go. All right, I like it. No, but that's the run of show today, guys. This is big. We're getting into it. The Detroit Lions have won 3 in a row. And look, for me, my takeaway from this game is pretty simple. The teams were going back and forth, right? The Lions created a turnover. They went down and scored before the half. They got the ball to start the second half. They put their foot on their throat. That's just what happened on the road. And that is the formula of what I've been watching the Patriots do this for years, guys. Games that go back and forth through the second quarter. Magically, the Patriots always score right before the half, and magically they're always getting the ball to start the second half.
Things that
they're
real
doing
football
good
teams
team-ish. They're doing good team. They are. 5 penalties to the Giants 8. Giants turning the ball over. Lions not. That's good team stuff.
There's a couple things to get into there and that, but it's the good team stuff. The second one things is, can you check mark off that you've seen improvement? I can say yes. Look at our halftime adjustments. Going back to the New England game or whatever, being able to score in the second half now, to be able to adjust, to be able to control the play. Yes, it was something that where Terry said he got excited. And it allows us to get excited, but we got to look into this of why it's going on. But they're slowly and surely building. You see confidence in each other, don't you? All throughout there. And discipline's a big part of it. So, I mean, big test this week, obviously short week, but you never know. There's a pathway there some way.
This one's pretty funny here. Matt O Matt, haven't seen you here before. Appreciate you tapping into the show. Matt O says, Neal hears Dan Miller say fire up the jet and goes to fire up his personal jet. We are taking the private jet to the Bahamas, as a matter of fact, tomorrow.
Damn.
Tomorrow. So there you go.
That's tight. Is it
We'll
your
fire
private
it up.
jet
Yeah,
or
happy
somebody
for you.
else's?
No, I don't. I don't like the tax ramifications of owning the private jet. So I sublease. Is that fair?
Absolutely.
No, but it is. It is big. And look, like you look at it from the standpoint here too, where your mom's favorite skater says,
I love that.
The Lions finally have a 3-game winning streak for the first time in 5 years, and everyone's got their hopes up. You guys are funny. You know what though? They deserve that. This week, they deserve that. Are they a 9.5, 10-point underdog on Thursday? Yes, they are. Would you bet your mortgage on them beating the Bills? No, you would not. However, T-Foss, look, you're the barometer for this, right?
Yes, sir.
You're
We hope.
You're the most grounded Lions person around. Is it fair? Is it fair for people? Is it fair for D-Mac and I to give them their flowers here today to some degree?
Give them flowers because we haven't seen this in a long time. But I would hold back just a little bit because it's still a 4-6 football team.
And it is. And I don't disagree with that. However, given the nature of what's going on around you, you went from an impossibility to a super long shot.
Sure.
Can we just forget about the destination right now and enjoy the journey?
And there's
That's
a
what it
degree
is.
of
Let's
that
just enjoy
too.
the journey
No,
over this
I
weekend.
think you need to look at the destination because before the destination was lottery picks. It was, get the best pick possible. No one would fight you on that.
No, but
now the destination is different.
We sat here and agreed that if they won this weekend, they're back in the graphics. So there would be playoffs. So we knew the destination would be the playoffs.
Well, talk about it. That's what I'm starting to say. Forget winning 3 damn games.
Yeah.
Forget that. This town needs higher aspirations. You need to think playoffs. You need to think championships. Don't just think about winning a couple freaking games.
Don't be satisfied with it.
No, you're the one that's satisfied.
I want to break down how we got here.
Let's just enjoy the game. Let's not look ahead, even though they might be in the playoff.
Terry, you're not listening to me.
I am listening to you.
No, you're not.
It's
Hear
bullshit.
when I say this. Let's enjoy how they did it to see if they can build on it. We know the destination. We said it last week. You even said it, that if they win this game, they're not only on TV, they're in the graphic. Did you not?
I
For
did.
the playoffs.
So let's talk
we're
about
already
it.
looking towards the playoffs. You're telling everybody like we're 3 wins in
Nobody's
a row.
looking for
Stuff like
no
this.
one is
How did we
looking
get
toward
here?
the
So to
playoffs.
continue this.
No one is looking toward the playoffs. We're simply saying that it's a possibility now. Even Neal said it was a long shot, but it's a possibility. This is something we haven't talked about.
The tanks aren't here. The tanks are in our tanks are in
LA.
down in LA.
Absolutely,
Right.
they are.
So-
and they're following suit for us.
So I want to know how you can't enjoy this and see what it is.
Nobody's saying not enjoy it. Sit there. But I'm saying this. Don't just be happy about winning games. If this team is different, if this team has a different attitude and stuff, then you should be able to say, you know what? They have a shot at the playoffs. What's wrong with this city? This city, here's a word people never say here. They never talk about championships. That includes the Ford family. They never, they're afraid to look forward and say, this team could do something. And I understand why, but don't be afraid. If they fall on their face, they fall on their face.
Yeah, and we're going to get into it too, and I do want to discuss this Lions defense, and I do want to discuss Aiden Hutchinson and Aleem McNeil, and oh, by the way, Kirby Joseph.
He's a very fine player.
Oh, by the way, Kirby Joseph.
What all the guys you're bringing up are right on the first contract guys. You're talking about
That's
guys
really weird.
coming. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to make
Who drafted those guys?
That's what I'm talking about. So
Must have been Quinn.
I was told he only takes hurt guys.
I don't know. Hey, I'm just going to go by what I know from personal experience. As the more reps I got playing in the highest league, right? So now the fact that, I was a different player 20 games in to my first NHL season than I was before I ever played a first game. Maybe we're seeing some progress here. Maybe we're seeing actually some development. And maybe what we're seeing is what we expected coming out of Hard Knocks, that this coaching staff was the ones.
Right. No, and I don't disagree. We're going to get into all of it, everybody. WoodwardSports.com chat thread really quick. Kevin Kulbaki says, knowing Neal and Adam have this job, it gives me high hopes that I can make it. Well, Kevin, come on down here, turn the cameras on, and let's go.
Hey, is he calling you a scrub?
I don't know. Come down here, turn the cameras on, and let's go. We'll see where you're at, brother. Okay, let's do it. But, hey, tell them about Moneyball, Sam Flannel.
No, we're not talking about the great baseball movie. We're talking about Moneyball Sportswear in Southfield. It has it's your one-stop shop for all your best needs in fitness gear, like sports apparel, all of the above. It is the best in the game. Speaking of the best in the game, the greatest wide receiver in Michigan football history and Woodward Sports' own Braylon Edwards will be there this Friday on Black Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., making an appearance. So if you want to go out, get some shopping done, meet Braylon Edwards, visit Moneyball Sportswear. Moneyball, it's the only way to ball.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Neal Ruhl here for Planet Fitness, home of the judgment-free zone. We can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. The gym that's always been known for being clean is now cleaner than ever. Can confirm. Was there about 50 minutes ago, as a matter of fact, out here in Novi. Tons of equipment, full-body workout. In just 30 minutes in a 30-minute circuit, all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month. Join today in club. You're going to pass a couple on the way home because they're everywhere. Or you can jump on your computer. Go to planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. Off and running. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We are live at Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer by any analytic measure you want to measure it out. That is not my opinion. That is fact, everybody. Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Terry Foster here, Sam Flannel, Alex Westfall as well. And we're chopping it up right now. We're talking about the Detroit Lions and that win over the Giants, and that was as complete as a performance as we have seen from the Lions in 5 years, 6 years.
It's been a while. It wasn't a mollywop, but it was an ass kicking. It was like, I own you.
It was. I mean, they took them to the mat and choked the life out of them until they tapped out. That's what they did. Mm-hmm. And look, I know Daniel Jones with 2 turnovers through 10 games they were due for some regression to the mean in that state, but you still have to create them. And the Lions defense did that. And I'll tell you this. The Aiden Hutchinson, and D-Mac, you said this very well when you talked about yourself 20 games into your NHL career versus 0 games into your NHL career. It seems like he is recognizing things in pass coverage that you don't see defensive ends. Those were J.J. Watt plays. They were. From a recognition standpoint, when you parlay that with athleticism. I can only go by what I see. And that's what I saw. So you have to have the athletic. You have to be athletic to make those plays.
Looks like the plays that he's making is playing the game. Like all these guys are playing the game. Yeah, you can be coached, and they don't look like robots, but it's intuition, reaction. I think you saw. I saw a tweet come across from our boy Easy Woodward Heavyweights talking about, oh my God, now I see Hutch is the guy, not Thibodeau. You didn't see Thibodeau out there that much yesterday. Yeah, being effective, as Hutch did, but it's the learning process. So he's not only physically gifted that we knew with the high motor and everything we're talking about, mentally, he's getting it too. The game, you know what I see? And I see this for for all of the defense. It seems like the game's slowing down. Is it fair for me to say that game yesterday reminded me more of like a college game where I expect a dominant college program to go into another program, maybe not mollywop them, to Terry's point, but they're going to beat them, and it's never really it's a game early maybe, right? Because when we were down, the first inkling is I said it might be different is watching the wind on the extra point. Right? Like, which was ridiculous. Which meant, okay, 6-3, I can deal with this, but how are we going to adjust? And throughout the game, just continued to get better and better, and it was a consistency. So I thought, to me, it reminded me more of a college football game.
It may have been, but I didn't have that feeling because the Lions have disappointed people before. My whole mentality was keep that clock moving.
Yeah.
Because you just never know what can happen with this team.
Let me rephrase this, Terry. College football game, now that I'm breaking it down after. No, I was we all go through that lion dumb and just run that clock, get that run, get that first down, hold the ball, carry the ball, don't turn it over. I know we're up. Wait, they just scored. Holy cow. So we're 2 scores in. If they do this, worst onside kick. Like, things are going their way. Like, you look at the onside kick come right to Amon-Ra St. Brown. No bounce, no nothing. Like, they're putting themselves in positions to get it done and not have to stress us out doing it.
Well, I put this, it wasn't Alabama Austin Pay or Austin P, whatever their name.
No, it wasn't. WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Jonathan Anton, go Brad Holmes, Josh Kalenda. Josh, haven't seen you in here before, man. Appreciate you tapping into the show. Also a big fan of the Brad Holmes picks. William Turnbull, Rookie of the Year, Kirby Joseph. Brad Holmes has changed my mind. Him and Neal have made me a Brad Holmes stan. I was self-admitted that. It's really wild, isn't it? It's really wild.
Here's the flip of the coin to me with Brad Holmes, right? Because, yes, does he draft guys that are injured and don't play immediately? Fine. But when they do play, are they players? What do you want? Which one do you want? The guys who's available early on that maybe doesn't pan out, or the guys that you know that he's gonna, what is this? Like 4 to 5 guys? Like you're gonna miss on a couple, but his hit rate compared to what we were in the back. Terry, is it fair to say that maybe now going into the draft, if we have a second-round pick, that I can be a little bit more, okay, he's going to make the right choice?
Right, but it's something he has to do too. But I understand why people got upset when he drafted injured players, because this franchise has a history of doing that, and the history is they don't pan out. Now, the key is these guys are panning out for the Lions. But you have to see it happen before you believe.
Just last year's draft alone, it's Aiden Hutchinson, Jamison Williams, he had a tweet that had everybody going crazy over the weekend too. Keep an eye on Thursday. I'm just saying, keep an eye on it.
Maybe just wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Josh Paschal, who was not able to play this week. Kirby Joseph, we saw his work. James Mitchell, by the way. How about that tight end room? How about it?
How about the efficiency, even to like down where they complete a pass, not for a touchdown, but for a first down? Like the way that they affect the blocking scheme, the way that this offense is playing. But like you're naming guys, and you're not naming guys at the top of the draft, are you?
No,
Mitchell's a fifth rounder.
I've only gotten to the 5th round.
So we're getting in deeper, and we know Malcolm's there.
6th round, Malcolm Rodriguez, spokesman for Feldman Chevrolet, by the way. 6th starting linebacker. You see what I'm saying here, guys? And that's on the heels of last year's draft with Penei Sewell, Onwuzurike's not working out, Aleem McNeil is working out, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like,
can I say a quick thing that I noticed yesterday, which was. And this is cultured locker stuff that maybe I didn't see before. But did you see when Penei Sewell, for lack of a better reason, but took a penalty, 15-yard or whatever, illegal block or whatever, and how upset he was? But it was to your point, he had a guy buried 10 yards downfield, right? Did you see when he was caught and how upset he was?
You know why he was upset? Because it wasn't an illegal block. That's why.
I understand that. But did you see who was a decorate to him, talking to him? Do you see how that did not compound down? They bounced back. Every time they faced that adversity, what were we afraid of going into the game yesterday? The 3rd and longs, if we get Goff in there. But we executed. Guys stepped up. So I just think, yeah, Terry, the worst thing as a player, dude, if you give me a penalty and I don't deserve it, because I deserve a lot of them, is you get super PO'd. But what I want to say is the maturity and the growth is you didn't let it affect the next play.
So here's the comp, too. The reason I brought that up about the draft picks, you go back in time to, say, 2017, right? It's 5 years ago, which was right around the time the Lions last won 3 games in a row. You look at the 2017 draft, where it was Jared Davis, Tease Tabor, Kenny Galladay, Jalen Reeves-Maben, Michael Roberts, Jamal Agnew, Jeremiah Ledbetter, that might be one of my favorites, Brad Kaya, and Pat O'Connor, who should be coming into their second contracts right now, and nobody's there except Jared Davis playing for $700,000. Like,
they're still around. They're working at Burger King.
But that's my point. And that's it. Like, if you can't, and I'm just trying to boil it down simpler for everybody, this is the time where those guys should be coming into the prime of their careers, and nobody's there anymore. You see what I'm saying? It's not hard to figure this stuff out. When you got guys that can play and you got guys that can make plays, you're going to be better. And when you have a draft like I just named off 5 years ago, you can't win like that. That's it. That's all.
That's why Holmes and Campbell essentially took over an expansion team.
100%. Those are your second contract guys that were coming into it now. Like, come on, man.
And you wouldn't even sign those guys if it was like for $1 million a year, because you don't want them.
Sign Jared Davis,
yeah.
But that's to the point where it fits into where he fits in. That's the thing is It's nice to see these guys execute too on both sides of the ball with the game plan, and it's something moving forward. Like, there's growth here. Like, this is something which Neal, not just bring it up that anybody else just go, holy cow, these guys continue to be good, and it's Brad Holmes. So figure out the money. Is that wow? Like, look at the core that you have. You have a core. That's what other NFL teams do, right, T?
That's the way it goes. I don't think they're going to have a complete core until after next season. They've got guys who are moving into, they're going to be core players, but once he gets next year's draft, I think that's going to be a core that can not only win but sustain stuff. This is not a team that can sustain things yet. They're still proving themselves, and they need depth. And the other thing that was good was he always say this, the Lions lost because they had an injury. Well, now it's more plug and play. Now they get injuries, they put somebody else in, especially on the offensive line, and they keep on going. Yeah, that's the way NFL teams work.
Shout out to Dan Skipper. Have you see him filling in, and how many times do you see him in the play? Up the field, 10, 15 yards, whatever like that. So to your point, that tells you, Hank Fraley, that offensive line room, they're doing their job.
And that spins into here on Mark Emmett on WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Remember, if you're new to the show, make sure you jump in there. I'll get to them. Can't get to them all. I mean, their messages just flying across everywhere on there. Someone give Aaron Glenn some love and Dan Campbell for standing by his guy when things were going south. And Mark, here's where it is with me, is the circumstances dictated a pound of flesh. And there was a pound of flesh. And then things changed. So, yeah, you have to. They had to do something. They did something. And they circled the wagons. And here they are. It's all pretty simple. Everybody should get free T-shirts.
Well, it's a pretty simple. Free T-shirts, if it's free, it's for all of us up here, that's for sure. And it's free for you, Big Frog. Yes, right here in Novi, get a free Woodward Sports T-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports T-shirt all month long at Big Frog in Novi. Stop in. Tell them we sent you. They'll print you one up. Bing, bang, boom, right on the spot. Go to Big Frog Novi today and get your free T-shirt, or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries, what will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the three biggest benefits that I've gotten from this This program has been, I'm not snoring anymore. I have a lot of energy. It's great. And oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-FIN or visit customhealthcenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. Baby, talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
At Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done right. You got a bog project coming up or the ground, it's frozen now. Well, you know Alta Rent, they got you covered. So give them a call today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
On and poppin', Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network live at Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer. Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Alex Westfall here with you. Happy to have you all with us. Lots to talk about Jeff Okuda in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. My understanding is he will not be available on Thursday. That is the word that I am hearing. And, certainly that sucks. Lions big-time underdogs in it. But you know what? We're not talking about that right now. We got a couple more days to talk about that. Talk about what they did. They shut down Saquon Barkley. The store was closed. But the Daniel Jones turnover factory was open. And he was out there doing what he does. A little regression to the mean with Daniel Jones. And the Lions were forcing it. And they got their break. They switched the game. They did what good football teams do. And they got the job done. And I forget who it was earlier on in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread that mentioned, yes, T.J. Hawkinson did drop 2 touchdown passes. One hit him right square in the hands. I believe he didn't have a catch in the third quarter. Someone may want to check my math on that. But I thought I remember looking. He did not have a catch in the third quarter of that game. Now, when it was 37-3, he ended up with like 7 catches for 50 yards and all that stuff. But I'm just saying, 3-4 touchdowns from the tight end position since he left? That's facts, not opinion.
3 and making plays. Yeah. I mean, I thought maybe when the clock ran out at the end of the year, we would be evaluating whether that was a good trade, whether we need him, we want him. 3 games since, you're 3-0. What a great move.
What about this real quick, too, in our WoodwardSports.com chat thread? I do want to talk about the offense a little bit, but fittingly, Tommy K in the Woodward Sports chat thread says, I am Tom Kennedy. I want to, just for 1 second, I just want to bring Sam Flannel to the microphone. Game hanging in the balance, 3rd and long, huge third down, first down conversion catch by Tom Kennedy. Are you prepared to give the man some respect or no?
I mean, I'll give him a little bit of credit. I wouldn't say the game was hanging in the balance.
Yes, it was.
It was already 17-6 at halftime, where Tom Kennedy was a complete non-factor. That was a big play, and I'm happy that you mentioned the defense first. So I approve of a little bit of Tom Kennedy love, just a little bit.
You know what else I saw before yesterday? I saw Tom Kennedy when he ran. Looked like he was running in quicksand. He outran somebody yesterday. I was shocked.
Hey. So now he's the next Julian Edelman, right? I can't wait for the Woodward Sports thumbnail. Tom Kennedy, the next Julian Edelman?
You got to get Mr. Kennedy doing a Tom Kennedy.
Or we got to do this.
No, but here's the thing. Let's be realistic, though. That's 2 games in a row. He's made plays, and they got 2 wins. So
a big play.
To what Terry said about guys stepping up when other guys are out, I think here's the thing. So, let's be quite honest. I know DJ Chark was out there because I saw one ball thrown to him deep in double coverage, but Tom Kennedy's, whether you want to say, is more valuable to this team right now than DJ Chark is, and making a hell of a lot less money. So you guys, you want to make fun of Tom Kennedy or not? No, he's actually makes a play that matters. If one guy makes one play a game, and you end up winning or having the better chance to win, I'm all for it. So good for what do you call them? Quicksand shoes?
He was in quicksand.
Yeah, but he outran somebody.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Arthur Smith. Tom Kennedy was the MVP of Hard Knocks. Rich Diana. Tom Kennedy for the Blitnikoff. Hey, the train's leaving the tracks, Sam Flannel. You can either be on it or not be on it. That's up to you. But when your feet are in the fire and it's 3rd and long and you need a big first down, Kennedy.
I will admit, in the last game against the Bears, that play was absolutely massive. The one against the Giants, that was just pretty big. Come on, there's a difference. The one against the Bears, though, I will never.
Well, it showed that he can make a play.
I mean, and that's all you kind of want from him.
Grim Father says Kennedy is much better than J-Mo. Now,
okay.
I suspect that will be the case, but we'll see.
No, stop it.
I mean, let's get the pulse of the people. Westy, can we do that WoodwardSports.com chat poll? Should Tom Kennedy win the Biletnikoff Award? Yes or no?
I got a better one. Greatest Kennedy. Tom Kennedy or John F. Kennedy?
Okay, who's a better Kennedy? Tom Kennedy or John F. Kennedy? I think that's a fair poll. I just want to take the temperature of the room. Who's meant more to America? Tom Kennedy or John F. Kennedy?
I mean, you got to put Bobby Kennedy in there somewhere. I mean,
I think we'll just leave it heads up. Tom Kennedy or John F. Kennedy? Who's a better Kennedy?
It depends on how you. I'll ask people in the 60s. Do you like John Kennedy or do you not like John F. Kennedy? I'm sure some of them would vote for Tom. But you know what? For real, he did make one big play in each of the last 2 games that they won. And honestly, that's kind of all you want from him. I just don't want the overreaction, but I absolutely will give him credit. 2 big plays, 2 games, 2 victories. I'll take it.
That's what we do. We overreact. Come on now.
Oh, there's no overreaction to it.
We're not gonna have any jobs anymore if we don't overreact. Come on now.
3rd and long, and you need a first down. Old TK85.
He got a first down.
Although, who else is stepping up? More so, even yesterday, to me, was more apparent. Cleve Raymond, right? Making plays, getting out there, making plays. You know, you look at Amon-Ra St. Brown. We haven't even brought his name up, but, dude, how clutch, and just you see that relationship developing even more so with Jared Goff and the trust that they have. But to have him out there, and it's more so the receiving core, Neal, to me, the Tom Kennedys, the Cleve Raymond, or to have that Amon-Ra St. Brown mentality. It's that dog mentality. Like, they're working hard, so they're smaller guys, but they're getting it done. So
you guys were talking about the tight end room. Here's why the Lions don't need T.J. Hockenson. They've got Amon St. Brown. He's like a tight end. He's always open underneath. Always.
And real quick, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Kevin Nagy says, "Sweet feet Kennedy." I like that one too.
Sweet.
I do like that one.
That sounds like a baseball player from the 1920s, but that's okay.
A Lions talk by Chad Sports. Water or Tom Kennedy? If you had to choose one, Sam Flannel, on Sundays I would choose Tom Kennedy.
Is Tom Kennedy essential to human survival like water is? I mean, no.
I'll admit, if I'm in the desert, I'll pick water. But other than that,
on
Tom
Sundays,
Kennedy.
You can get by on a Sunday without water, depending on
Not in the
path
desert.
and trajectory of your Saturday night.
I mean, if you're asking on a Sunday, but at the end of the day, Amon-Ra St. Brown, that's the real star on the wide receiver course. 7 catches, 76 yards. Like you've said, Neal, Amon-Ra St. Brown is a star.
He's a
already.
star.
But that's standard. I expect
but
that
you know
every
what,
game
though,
from
D-Mac,
him.
When is he, and look, I know like he's getting a little bit of run nationally and stuff like that. He's as valuable to the Lions winning football games as any other receiver is to their teams winning football games.
Amen. He is what we saw.
You know how I know? When you took him away, ...
The same thing as DeAndre Swift in lining up in that backfield. No matter if Jamal Williams is hammering the load, or how about Jefferson looking good? You know what I'm saying? Like, the Deuce Staley's got that running back group going, but they win. They seem to win. Better chance to win. How do I know? Because when he's in the lineup, they have W's.
Now, you might get your wish after Thursday. The Lions never been on national TV this year. They have a losing record. Amon St. Brown, we noticed him. He's very important. But nationally, you're not going to get any love for him unless he does something on the national stage and they win. You could get your wish on Thursday.
Real quick, WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Who's a better Kennedy, Tom Kennedy or John F. Kennedy? Tom Kennedy was 65% of the vote so far over John F. Kennedy. Hey, the people are speaking.
What have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
Seriously, that's the old, we are a society of Big D energy. What have you done for me lately? Let's go.
Must be a lot of Republicans voting.
Ask not what your receiver, ask not what you can do for your receiver, but what can your receiver do for you?
Absolutely.
And Tom Kennedy does for you.
First down.
3rd and long, first downs.
Breaking news.
I have some breaking news. Jamison Williams is practicing today.
Lions just announced. So Jamison Williams it's all coming together.
Oh, boy.
It's all coming together.
So the clock starts, the 3-week clock. Tick-tock, tick-tock.
Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. So that's where we are. No, but seriously, though, guys, like we're laughing about it and stuff like that.
So let me ask a question real quick off of that. Do you think he'll play Thursday then?
I would think so. I think the plays he's made in football games dictates that he will play. Yes.
I think
you're
so,
talking
too.
about
I'm talking about James.
You're talking about Jameson Williams. I don't know. That's up to the doctors.
Okay. But
Yeah,
the
I'm
fact,
a
is it
little-
a better sign that he's going to play? The fact he's practicing?
Well,
right?
if they were playing on Sunday, I would say he's definitely going to play. The fact it's a Thursday game, I say probably, but not 100%. Because did he practice last week? No. So the fact that he's starting practicing on a short week, he may not play.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Sam Flannel. Grim Father says J-Mo sees Kennedy's about to replace him. A couple of
Oh, yeah.
exclamation
Sure,
points.
that's
like,
it. That's
D-Mac,
it. You see how
D-Mac, when you were in your when you
Whoa.
were pushing in your 30s, don't tell me you didn't think
Exactly.
about that from time to time.
Now,
exactly.
here's what J-Mo's thinking. I'm going to get Wally pipped without even stepping on the field. Hell no. I got to play Thursday.
That could be into it. You never know. Could be into the
Hey,
mindset.
you can't say it's
Or
not
you know
true,
what
Sam
also
Flannel.
too is, you know what? When you're on the outside looking in and you got a good thing going, you want to be a part of it. You want to be a part of it, and that may. What did we see about the injury reports in the last few weeks? Were a little bit not as deep as they were in the weeks before. Guys pushing to get out there. So we'll wait and see. I would say no. I think it's but for sure then the next Sunday.
WoodwardSports.com
Jacksonville.
chat thread, Lions Odd. I haven't seen you in here before, Lions Odd. Appreciate you tapping into the show. J-Mo for the playoff run. It's like the old bit where it's like the trade they made at the trade deadline. Adding Jameson Williams.
Right.
Getting healthy.
And you didn't give up anything.
There you go, T-Foss.
Bam.
You moved down 20 spots in the third round. That's all you had to do to get them. Let me tell you about the Sports Marketing Agency. They spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast is called This is the S Word. It's a series about removing the stigma associated with seeking help for mental health situations. If you or maybe someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com. Again, thesportsma.com, the Sports Marketing Agency. They're here to help.
Thanksgiving is all about family and friends. That's why Woodward Sports wants to send you and your crew front row for the Thanksgiving Day football game.
Easy there. Hey, it's Thanksgiving. Shouldn't you be in Detroit losing a football game right now?
That's right, you and 3 people that you're thankful for sitting in row number 1. So close you can hear the action, smell the excitement, and taste the glory of Detroit football. All you have to do to enter is retweet or share our post on Twitter and IG and tag 3 of your friends or family. If all 3 of those people are following Woodward Sports too, and we pick your name, you and your crew will all get the best seats inside Ford Field. So hop on Twitter and Instagram and tag your crew. And we'll see you Thanksgiving Day at Ford Field. Brought to you by Lady Jane's and Custom Health Centers.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
The Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling game. 2 ways to play, $12 unlimited open play or $120 lane reservation for up to 10 people. $2 mystery beer machine and full bar. And you can even bring any kind of food you want. No hassle, no fuss. Shout out Spencer Raxter. Check it out at foalingwarehouse.com.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, live from Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer. We'll talk to our guy, Ryan Palter, Director of Sales here at Feldman Chevrolet
You know
in
who else is
Novi.
going to talk to Ryan Palter? My son.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully, yes. We may get...
You have isolated a car that
Yeah,
is
he
potential
jacked up his
target?
car, so we may get something here.
And
So,
you know what,
there you
Neal?
go.
You know what I did today? And this is just before, is sometimes you just walk in. I walked in and I just put my finger, and I give him a hug, and no words needed to be said. He's just struggling right now.
Yeah.
So if anybody's out there not listening to Neal's picks or maybe taking mine into consideration or even Terry's, because he's going to end up winning anyway.
It's not the time. When we have Ryan on here, it's not the time to poke fun.
No,
and
that
things
was
like
last.
that.
No.
That was last
D-Mac
week.
just screwed everything up. He gave him that brotherly hug. Now he's going to be on the roll now. Watch.
But I want him to. He's so good.
Yeah.
Good. See,
It's not the time to
I'm
make
on
fun of
the T. That's the way it is, T. I want everybody catching
knows
up
he
to me. I need everybody to come on.
He knows he can't hurt you now. So you like, okay,
I
I'll
didn't
give you
know
that
that
hug.
I'm influenced by Neal Ruhl, right, and his get right pick, and I just see how that thing has just grown a mind of its own.
Yeah. Well,
and,
we did take the L this week on the Get
but
Right.
still, so that makes you 29-9.
Right. 29
Do you know what I'm saying right
Yeah.
there? You know what? You've got out to that. You're the front runner. Got out to that lead in the get right. So now, because it'll focus. You do that every now and then.
You know what I hate to admit? I don't want to admit this, but it's true. We're all better human beings because of Neal Ruhl.
That's fair.
Amen.
I have not watched a Thursday night football game in a month. You gave a guy a hug trying to get him going.
It's because it's not the time to poke fun. It's a time for love.
Dude, Big
and
D
reaffirmment.
energy.
But you make fun of him.
There's a lot of.
I did.
There's a lot of levels to Big D energy right now.
There
There's
is.
a lot of
There
levels.
Chuck Brewer says, Neal, no, it's what have you done for me lately? You're 0-1. And that's fair. Hey, we'll talk about that game. We'll talk about that game coming up in the second hour of the show. I want to talk about this, though. To me, and you guys know where I am with it, to me, the narrative for this Lions team changed when Penei Sewell stepped on the field. And I've been consistent about it. It's something I've talked about for a very long time. That offensive line yesterday was a wrecking ball, was an absolute wrecking ball. And when you go through the numbers and how it didn't matter who the running back was. It did not matter. Whoever carried the ball was going to get 4 yards at a minimum. That's just the way that it was. And we're talking about the defense, and they're making the plays.
Oh, you know
and all
what?
that
There's
kind of
something
stuff.
that happened in the game that's not in the stat sheet.
What's that?
I ran the ball once and got 4 yards.
Terry
Yesterday.
Foster
I
one
snuck
carry
in there
for 4 yards. But again, D-Max and this D-Max line, and I think it's fair and I think it's just where this offensive line is an elite unit in the NFL. Not good, not very good, elite. Line them up with the other offensive lines and tell me who's better.
You know what is taking them over the edge is the way that they can adapt. And throughout the line, it's not just the five of them, right? One goes down. We lost Vitae. You lost Evan Brown, who's been phenomenal this year. He's the one. You got Ragnow, who you knew all week was in a boot. But you got guys stepping up. There's a unity to that system. So no matter who it is, I give props to Dan Skipper. You know, I see him all over the field. And you know what it is, Neal? Because here's the thing. It's the discipline. That's what it shows me, the coaching, because it's the discipline of not pre-snap penalties. And we remember a few games ago where there was, like, Sewell lost his mind on that 2 back-to-back penalties in Decker. They got that out of their system. That was sort of going to happen. But it's the cohesion to the fact that they don't care who you're handing it off to, right? They're moving forward. And they end just the violence with a purpose, right? You look at Jamal's 3 touchdowns yesterday, right? Not easy yards, right? Not easy yards, but everybody's fighting, clawing. And like I said, what I really liked, and I mentioned it in the last segment, is when Penei Sewell got a penalty that he didn't deserve and was irritated about it. They didn't let it bother them, and they just kept the drive going and went in and scored.
And there's another aspect to that. Normally, if back in the day when the Lions made a mistake, the teammates would yell at them. Say, look, you knucklehead, we had to play, and you had to do this. Yesterday, they're like, okay, it's all right, you good, you'll come back and get them. So there's a different attitude amongst teammates.
I love that, too. You see, like, Decker sort of, like, getting in there to pull him away because you don't want to take another penalty or whatever like this, and he's still John. It's that dog of Sewell, right? You saw it come out, and because he was didn't think he believed it, but they walk around, right? Like, that's the whole thing. I remember that reminds me of, like sometimes when some of your best players, maybe an Iserman, might be losing it on a ref, and you sort of get in the middle so he can still say it, but it's not directly to him. You know what I'm saying?
No, the little things like that.
The little things, because that's the camaraderie. And then they get back in. And because Decker's, to Terry's point, is probably going, don't worry about it, big dog. Don't worry about it, big dog. Let's get him back. We own these guys.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Dirty Dr. D. I am also better because of Uncle Neal's advice as well. I appreciate that. That's pretty funny. Your mom's favorite skater. FYI, on Amazon Prime, I still haven't watched a single play on Thursday Night Football. I'm not saying because of the Amazon Prime thing. That's whatever. They're going to take the biggest check.
Bad games.
It's just we're not taking whatever you give us to take, NFL. When you roll Panthers Falcons out there, I'm not participating, and neither should you. But you guys do what you want. But one by one, you guys are kind of taking my side on it, and I like it.
I'm not watching.
Chuck Brewer says, Neal, I'll agree. Sewell versus the Rams last year was an attitude changer for the team. D-Mac, I defer to you on this. Do you buy that at all? Because for me, and look, you guys know I don't get caught up, and I'm not a slappy and stuff like that. But that did cut a lot of ice with me. It did.
It's a start, right? They built on it. I think what you saw then, if that was the...
Because he even did it against Bosa that week one.
Right. The consistency of doing it, right? The consistency of doing it and knowing that you have that now. What do I think? I think the whole offensive line has taken that attitude, right? The three guys there, you got the Decker, the Ragnow, and Sewell, right? And everybody else around them is now... They have that same mentality, and it's a dog mentality.
You know why that was significant? Aaron Donald tried to take Penei Sewell and say, "You my hoe."
Yeah.
Right.
And Penei Sewell said, "Oh no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'll bitch slap you."
Yeah.
And he was. And you know what else he did? He held Aaron Donald off the board after that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm like? It's one thing to do it.
So do you see? There's something that you have to look into, right? Where does it fire a guy up? Does it not fire a guy up? Do they? A lot of guys do that for intimidation, right? The anticipation of death is worse than death itself. But when you don't fear it and you just keep coming back, and that's what they're doing. And I think it's the whole lines mentality. So it's not just Penei Sewell. They have that dog mentality throughout, no matter which of the five are out there.
Dirty South Wolverine. Haven't seen you in here before. Appreciate you tapping into
Dirty
Big D
South
energy.
Wolverine.
I like that.
What are the chances Lion draft Sewell's brother at linebacker? I do hear that chatter with their own first-round pick. I do hear that chatter. Linebacker services are needed, no doubt. Got a question here from Ryan, too. If you had it to do over again, Sewell or Micah Parsons?
That's a tough one, but I will say this. You, in drafting Penei Sewell, you made sure one of your units was the best in football. If you had Micah Parsons, you would have gotten a great player, but you wouldn't have had the best unit in football in anything.
He changed that's a great way to put it, Terry. Mm-hmm. He changed the complexion of a unit to make a unit elite. How many times, other than Barry at running back or Calvin at receiver, how many times have the Lions had one of the most elite units of anything in football?
Punter.
And punter.
Kicking game always.
And Jason Hans.
Kicking game consistently, right? And then Prater, right? You look at like Jack Fox, which, by the way, yesterday just dropping dimes inside the 5, right? And that's, which the special teams, right? That also the discipline and the way they cover kicks and they don't let it go in the end zone, but the way that it looks like they have a game plan and they've practiced, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. It's something, but to your point, Neal, you had to go this way with Sewell. I don't think you had the luxury because Parsons, you can't say you knew this is what he was going to be. You knew Sewell was going to – you were more convinced that Sewell was going to be a gold jacket on your offense that could change the complexion of your whole unit.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Brad Holmes has a different mentality than the normal sports fan. What the sports fan does, here's my draft board. Let me get this player. He's good. Let me get this player. He's good. This guy's good, so I want him. So one guy could be a receiver, another guy could be a cornerback, another guy could be a linebacker. But Brad Holmes, it's pretty clear he's saying, I'm making my units better. He made the offensive line, the elite. And then he's like, okay, let's double down on the defensive line. I know he got 2 edge rushers. He did McNeil the year before. So he's trying to get units together rather than just saying, let me just pick because we had one GM here said, I'm just going to pick the best player available, and then he picked the worst player available.
But to your point, right, as they build, then he will be able to, maybe not this draft now, but in a couple drafts, be able to go out and go, I want this guy, because his units are in place.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. We can wrap this one up. Who's a better Kennedy? Wow, look at all these votes. Tom Kennedy, 67% of the vote. John F. Kennedy, 33% of the vote.
How many people voted?
We're pushing 350.
All right.
So, it's a mass, representation of the people, which we're in America. There's a democracy.
What have you done for me lately? Like D-Mac said.
How many precincts are reporting?
We're calling it. We're calling the election right now. Tom Kennedy has won. You know what, Westy?
Whoa.
Let's do this one,
that was
Westy.
You.
WoodwardSports.com chat poll.
Me whether it's not.
If you had it to do over again, Penei Sewell or Micah Parsons? Because I'm doing Penei Sewell. I'm doing Penei Sewell.
And here, does any of this put into it? Brad Holmes was more confident this was the guy because he drafted him out of position and played him out of position. He's still out of position from where he drafted him. That's how great he is.
That is how great he is. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Anthony Hurley. Neal, what'd you think of Michigan's passing game? LOL. We'll discuss coming up in just a little. Can we ask a question? When is it okay to? I'll ask that later. When is it okay to ask the question? Is J.J. McCarthy mid? We can ask. I just want to know when the time is right. Maybe it could be Saturday.
It could be today.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Southpaw Slabs. I'm going with Sewell too. So we'll put that poll up there, and I am curious to see where the people are with that. But there is a lot of stuff to cover. Where are you going to get a haircut these days? It's a holiday season. You got to look good.
It is, and you know what? More freebies like free money. So come to Lady Jane's for the award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Yes, $200K. You heard it here first on Big D Energy. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in any time. It's wicked awesome.
Wonderful.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brett Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Time to talk about Mike Phillips. No, not former Philadelphia Phillies 1930 baseball player Albert Abernathy Buzz Phillips, but Michael Phillips. Whether you're a player or a fan, helping you buy, sell, or invest is Michael Phillips' top priority. Being in the game for 23 years makes Mike the number one option for anyone.
Bum Phillips?
If you have real estate needs, call Michael Phillips at 313-403-0011. That's 313-403-0011.
He probably doesn't know who Bum Phillips is.
WoodwardSports.com, Big D Energy, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Alex Westfall as well on the ones and twos. You know our guy Stick is out here around as well. And this is important. Our guy Rack, based on the results of the poll, when do we change the airport name from John F. Kennedy International Airport to Tom Kennedy International Airport?
It actually be Tom F. Kennedy.
If we could, does anyone know Tom Kennedy's middle name?
I looked. It just looks like he doesn't have one.
Let's call him Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Let's be Tom Fitzgerald Kennedy.
Oh, wouldn't that be convenient?
Now, you found out something.
TFK.
Time out. Explain the greatness.
I'm connecting through TFK, you know.
Dude, you found out something during the break that's going to change the whole scope of sports.
Well, here's another. Upon some further digging, when we were looking for Tom Kennedy's middle name, Come to find out, Tom Kennedy, too, is a dual sport star as well. He was drafted in the 3rd round of the 2018 Major League Lacrosse draft by the Boston Cannons. He played 6 games for the team in 2018 before leaving to play football at Bryant as a graduate student. So the original two-sport star, Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson, Tom Kennedy.
Right. I always thought Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson were the greatest 2 dual sport athletes in history. I was wrong.
You were wrong.
I'll admit it.
You absolutely were wrong. Rack, great question. We'll talk about that. WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Who would you draft if you had a redo? 82% of you say Penei Sewell. 18% say Micah Parsons.
And it would have been the opposite a month ago.
It would have.
You can't go wrong, and why would is because I think it puts your team that much
because
more forward.
The defense was so terrible a month ago that poll would have reversed.
No, I agree with you, but what I'm saying is that you couldn't go wrong picking either guy, but you don't solidify a position group, right? Because
that's not the way fans think.
I understand.
We have lots of reports on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread that Tom Kennedy's middle name is effing. We are working with our sources to shore that up.
Seth Rollins is the same middle name.
So we will work back and we will check back with you. Not having a middle name is a very Tom Kennedy thing to do. So there you have it. Also getting some chatter, too. Michigan was destroying Illinois until Corum got hurt. So there's that out there as well.
I don't know about destroying. But
anyway,
we'll
discuss. We'll discuss that one coming up. All right, I did want to do this, you guys, because A, we might not get a chance to do it again, and B, why not, man? Everybody's feeling it. It went from an impossibility to a long shot. The road to the playoffs. Keep a straight face, everybody.
You don't see me smiling.
What is the record that makes it in? Do you like and this is a different 17 games this year, stuff like this. Does 8? First, I got to know, does 8 and 9 get it in? Because
I don't believe so. But 9 and 8 could.
Well, right now, San Francisco's 5 and 4.
And hold on. Doug Fungus, no, Neal, they aren't making the playoffs. Am I betting my mortgage on that? No. But you can have the discussion.
If you're asking the question, okay, the fact they're in the graphic. Show me the path there, right? Because the path there is the 9 wins. That means 5 more wins. So show me on the schedule, because my initial reaction on the rest of the games on the schedule, right, that we'll go through is they win 3 games. I found them a 4th game that'll get them to 8 and 9. I can't find them that 5th game.
So here's the deal. And look, guys, I'll even ground this in quote-unquote reality for everybody. They're a 9.5, 10-point underdog this week against the Bills. I'll write that one off as an L. Okay? I'll write that one off. The path to 9 and 8. Say you do lose that game. You have home games against the Jaguars and the Vikings. You have road games at the Jets and at the Panthers. You're home against the Bears, and you're at the Packers to end the season.
It's tough, but you know what? The NFL is supposed to be tough. So if you're good enough.
That's not the first half of the season tough. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like living in the now.
There. I think the consistency. I think it's, there's a lot of different reasons. One of the things why you could argue, too, is because we heard today, breaking news, that Jameson Williams is back on. That gives, another weapon later in the season. So, there's more to it, but you want this end of right. You want the schedule the way it's worked out to play the rest of the end of the season as your guys are getting better.
I'm not calling for it.
I don't want to look because now the way that where they've played, what they have, and looking, I don't want to look at it. It's too soon, but there is a path.
I'm giving you a path. So through those games that I just said, you still have one of those you could lose to get to 9 and 8. That's your pathway.
All right.
That's your path, and that's assuming they lose Thursday.
Okay, we live in Detroit, and then we look at games like, oh, my God, this is an impossible game to win. I don't look at it that way. If you are a real team NFL games become coin flips. All you got to do is take care of your business, don't make stupid mistakes, and you can win these games. Here in Detroit, we don't have that mentality because the Lions win like 35% of their games. And so, but in other cities, you don't, I mean, for instance, Buffalo. That's not an L. It's a possible win. Buffalo, I don't know if you've seen Buffalo the last month. Buffalo hasn't been that good. And guess what?
They're not leading their division.
Guess what my guy is doing?
Who's your guy?
Allen, the quarterback. He's turning the ball over. So so you can win that game.
I think you have a better chance. I like our chances going into this game. I don't at 10.5. Did you say it spreads 10.5?
9.5 to 10, depending on where you shop.
Well, that's, in a one-score league, then home dog, whatever like this, sets it all up. I think that line is more of the beginning of the year bills that we saw, the Josh Allen and stuff. But they've had some injuries. They are beatable. They aren't the world beaters. I'd be more worried of the Kansas City's coming in.
They're not even leading their division.
Here's the thing. Do you think our team can compete, and if they play smart and do it the right way that they've consistently done, because it's the coaching and it's the X and O's and it's the little things, they'll be in this game and
Buffalo's not going to beat that spread. That line is going to be.
So by that rationale, you're in the game.
In the game.
You're in the game to some degree. And I'm not, again, guys, I'm not calling for it, but this path of. There's a path. I'm giving you the pathway. Whether or not you choose to,
here's the thing, Neal. Here's the question that you just got.
Sample it.
Right now, we're going. Okay, there's a path. If they did win Thursday, right?
Everything changes.
Think about how we're bringing in the tanks. Now we're saying there's a chance they beat Buffalo Thursday. This town, Terry, tell me if I'm wrong. Playoffs are bust. Right?
No, true. And
right,
and on Monday's show,
right there.
I'm just telling you
talking about
but what I'm saying is that's not the right mentality because the games are still tough. But I'm saying if you win this game, you're going to have everybody.
And if we come on here after the Lions, if they beat Buffalo, and we come on here and you start saying, "Oh, guys, let's not talk about the playoffs. Let's enjoy the game." Guess what? You got to go home.
No. Wait.
No.
Doesn't
My
make
ass,
sense
you gotta
because
go
are we
home.
going to break down how we beat the Bills? So screw you and the fact that gets you the playoffs. You got to break down is what you did right. So hopefully we're talking about the game
and the playoffs. And if you don't want to talk playoffs, you got to go home. Go ice skate or something. I don't care what
Don't
you do.
get ahead of yourself though. Why can't you enjoy the journey and sit there and you want to talk about playoffs and the stuff about this instead of saying, look at what we did? Because obviously what we're talking about and doing. So, okay, get all caught up in it, but I'm just saying how it changes to expectations of if you beat Buffalo, then most people think you're a playoff team. And then they go, oh, you're going to win. You're going to beat Chicago at home, and you're going to beat the Panthers. They suck. And
But that's what Lion fans do.
That's what I'm talking about. So guard against it. I'm trying to take a different tact.
If
that tack has never been taken before. That's the thing.
Oh my gosh! So and we haven't won a playoff game since '92, and like what the hell? So change it up. Change your operating.
If you actually talk about making the playoffs, you would be changing it up because this is a fan base that doesn't talk playoffs.
Because they've never been able to make it to the playoffs. Because the tanks are already supposed to be rolled in.
Let's give them something different, tanker.
I ain't tanking. Sorry. I'll step back.
Woodward Sports.
Because here's the thing. Sorry about taking the winning mentality. I'm sorry that a winner that knows how it takes to get to the end of it, right, just wants to temperament something and enjoy the journey. So you know what we're looking at, so that we can embrace it. So that when we get there,
you can enjoy the journey. I'm not going to deny that, but we got business to take care of too.
What about this, guys?
7 weeks ahead.
What about this though? Just as you look, and again, when's the last time we got to do this? That's why I'm doing it. I'm not calling for it or anything like that. Let's just,
what's more
taking
imperative?
10 minutes.
Look at my clock. Look at our clock that we set up, right? Look at the Big D Energy clock, whatever it is the fact is that you're really we'll know after this season, at least have more of a assuredness of which direction this is going.
Because when we come back, I do want to ask that question about a little bit later on. But after Thursday, your home games left on the schedule: the Jaguars, the Vikings, the Bears. I'm just saying that's what it is. And your road games are the Jets, the Panthers, and the Packers.
All right, Terry, I'm going to think about the playoffs right now because what Dallas just did to Minnesota last night.
That's my point.
To Terry's point about the NFL league. So to everybody out there, yeah, we're in this. I just want everybody to enjoy it.
Are you the favorite?
Before it goes away.
No, you're not the favorite. Are you over plus 500? Yeah, you probably are. But you know what? We can have the discussion. And I'm not apologizing for that. I'm not. People, Wheezy D313, Tom White Lightning Kennedy is sick. That is a pretty sick nickname. That would be cool. I just want to say, DJ, did anyone see Hawkinson's big drops in the end zone yesterday? Oh, I saw him, DJ. I saw him. I saw that scoreboard, too, after that game was over. And they're coming back here, by the way. Are Lions fans going to do the Detroit thing and cheer TJ Hawkinson when he comes back?
No.
I don't think so. Oh, yeah, and by the way, his stat line from yesterday, 5 catches for 34 yards. Very on brand.
Very Logan Thomas-esque.
Hey, you're right, though.
That's Logan Thomas. Well, I got killed on Twitter because I said his best year was the same as Logan Thomas's best year.
I mean,
he's not Logan Thomas.
You must have put stats on the board.
Oh, I did. I mean, I based it in fact.
Well, they're not going to embrace him like they did Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford was the starting quarterback of the Detroit Lions for a decade, more than a decade. And the other guy that people cheered for was Justin Verlander, who was arguably the face of the Tigers for many, many years.
Will there be any Detroit Vikings T-shirts at Ford Field when the Vikings come into town with TJ Hawkinson?
No, they're going to have FTJ T-shirts.
Okay, so it's different this time.
It's different this time.
Okay, gotcha. Let me tell you what's not different, because it's always good. It's always going to be good. Cintron, the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. They got the sampler box, all 3 of their delicious flavors. Okay. Into one Red Wings-themed package. You can try Cintron's great-tasting cranberry, classic, and sugar-free all in one package. So you know what? Why wait? Order your Cintron 6-pack sampler box today. CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. Get energized with Cintron, and let's go Red Wings.
Thanksgiving is all about family and friends. That's why Woodward Sports wants to send you and your crew front row for the Thanksgiving Day football game.
Easy there. Hey, it's Thanksgiving. Shouldn't you be in Detroit losing a football game right now?
That's right, you and 3 people that you're thankful for sitting in row number 1. So close you can hear the action, smell the excitement, and taste the glory of Detroit football. All you have to do to enter is retweet or share our post on Twitter and IG and tag 3 of your friends or family. If all 3 of those people are following Woodward Sports too, and we pick your name, you and your crew will all get the best seats inside Ford Field. So hop on Twitter and Instagram and tag your crew. And we'll see you Thanksgiving Day at Ford Field. Brought to you by Lady Jane's and Custom Health Centers.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Markets, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Neal Ruhl here for Custom Health Centers. We can get your customized approach to weight loss. Think of all the ways that weight affects your health mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. It's been Custom Health Centers' honor to help many professional athletes lose weight and improve their health. People like Detroit Lion great Eddie Murray and Piston bad boy Rick Mahorn. Start losing weight today. Call Dr. Jason and Custom Health at 844-789-8446. That's 844-789-FIN. Custom Health Centers, everybody. Back out and popping. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, live at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer out here on Grand River Road in Novi. Come on out here. You know they got the EVs, everything that's on and popping. T-Foss, probably going to get a link up with the new car for his son.
It's not going to be new.
But it's new to him.
A new used car.
Yeah, it's new. It's new to you. That's what.
Right.
That's
You
what you can say.
know what I love? Our buddy Ryan Paul, really, really, really bad at picking football games, but really, really, really great at his job.
It balances out.
It does. Absolutely.
I thought we weren't going to rub it in.
We're not.
We're not. We're speaking facts.
Was it tone? Was it truth?
It was.
Did I just throw facts out, Neil?
No, it was the third real bad.
I just, you know what?
A real bad.
Sometimes the rule breaker rubs off.
Sometimes we got to embrace our brothers.
I did. I gave
you
him a
did.
hug early.
You did. That's true.
Right?
Yeah, you
were
did.
you in there consoling him?
No, and I
you're
will
trying
not
to throw
be
money
either.
his way. I get it. So you're consoling in a different way.
Right.
WoodwardSports.com chat poll going on. Who would you draft if you had it to do over again, Penei Sewell or Micah Parsons? 81% say Penei Sewell. So they're a lot like me. And T-Foss, I think, explained it perfectly. Remember, subscribe to the podcast, wherever you get your podcast, Big D Energy Podcast. You can't be with us live. You can rewind, fast forward. You can go back and listen to T-Foss break it down perfectly about Penei Sewell. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jump in there. We'll get your thoughts. Stephen Baffey. When you hear D-Mac talk, you'd never know he is Canadian until he apologizes.
Am I out and about, or am I out and about?
I don't know, but
sorry.
But I know that
organization.
I know that
Yeah,
you're
that's
sorry.
it. That's how you know someone's Canadian. That one word, organization.
Organization.
But they say organization.
I do not. I say organization. I'm sorry.
That's what I just said.
That's what I just said.
Our good friend, Real Cream of Wheat says, when the Lions win, it's Sewell. When they lose, it's Parsons. All right, at least he's honest.
That's true. Right.
And there has been a lot of honesty. I don't want to say coming to Jesus moments with people about Brad Holmes. What about Dan Campbell? Because I haven't seen that in here. So let's have that discussion right now. Dan Campbell, ...
I'm neutral on him. I need to see.
So you went. Have you changed though? Have you gone from against
I
to
went
neutral?
I'm debating this guy buffoon, to be honest with you. But I thought maybe his greatest asset was motivation. So I was doing your organization. Motivation. No, it's motivation. I thought he was a great motivator. Guys wanted to play for him, but that's not X's and O's. That's not game plan. So I'm neutral on him. I want to see real teams win in December. I want to see what he's doing in December and after Thanksgiving.
Say they're mid the rest of the way, 500, maybe 3-5, whatever the number is.
He's turned a corner.
Is he your coach next year?
He's my coach next year, even if they lose the rest of their games.
So so that's the baseline.
Yeah, but he's out of the buffoonery. I think there's something there. One of the big things yesterday was Sean Payton coming out on Fox and saying that Dan Campbell is a Mike Vrabel more in the making. So I think he's proven in the last 3 games that they've won is he's learned how to stay out of his own way. But the team's playing hard. The team's getting, running out the clock, getting the first downs. Or how cool is it at the 2-minute mark last night to have victory formation?
Right.
Did anybody else enjoy that? And but that was cool. So I give him a chance. I think Neil, to be consistent, we have to wait till the clock runs out, and we'll give the evaluation. But I can say this, that fully expect him to be the coach here next year, regardless of what happens at the end of the year.
Here's the danger of getting rid of him. First of all, I think you can have the debate, do you want this guy to come back? That's different than firing him, because the risk you have is you could piss off an entire locker room. Whoever the next coach is may not be able to get them back in a timely manner. These guys, when Dan Campbell looked in, they were looking for another voice because they were sick and tired of Matt Patricia. So get us anybody in here. You could have had Bimbo the birthday clown. They would have been listening. But Dan Campbell gave them the voice that they needed. But if you get rid of him too soon, you risk mutiny in that locker room, and the next coach may not be able to get him back in time.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread juices ghost. We all seem to forget that Dan Campbell's a rookie too, learning on the fly as well. If we can continue to see progression and he continues to get everything out of the coordinators, then he is doing his job. And look, these are a lot easier discussions to have when you've won some games. I mean, there is a binary element to it.
No, there is. And I think that, the one thing is when you listen to these guys, I heard an interview with Aiden Hutchinson yesterday and stuff like this and talk about the culture and the account, but it's a whole, I think he mentioned something, I'm paraphrasing that, we had a hard talk, man to man. But the one thing is, I think what Dan Campbell does, and some coaches do, some don't. I don't know this in the football locker room, but offense, defense, special teams, 3 different units. Sometimes they operate as 3 different units. What we're seeing here is this Detroit Lions team is that it doesn't matter what position you play, you're all about it, right? You're all about it. You're all together.
And you know what?
Offense and
that
defense.
may have happened 3 weeks ago or whatever. There was a players-only meeting, and there was a coming to Jesus meeting. And some of the players even admitted that maybe they weren't on the same page with teammates. They weren't in lockstep with them. But now they say it's not perfect now, but they feel like this is my teammate now. And
when you're playing for the guy beside you, that's what I see. I see, and I forget about the results and stuff, but they are playing offense, defense hard for each other. That's all you want. So to your point, Neal, Dan Campbell's out of the buffoonery back into where Terry's neutral, but he's ascending. He's getting better. He's figuring this out. Unfortunately, he had to figure it out on the job, which that's not usually the best operating for a business. But it seems to have worked out. I think be fair to him, right? We're sure on Brad Holmes. We're lockstep on Brad Holmes as far as let him make the choices. With Dan Campbell,
I wavered on Dan Campbell. Never wavered on Brad Holmes.
End of the year, let's give him the evaluation.
Now, are you getting any Brad Holmes shade today, or is it all clean?
No, everybody's kind of changing their tune.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's changing their tune.
I
haven't seen it about Dan Campbell.
See, this is what I like about our peeps too, though. Is like you can have an opinion, but when new information presents itself, like Sam Flan, I'm like they're saying, "Hey, sorry, Neal, guys, see it."
You can say they're wishy-washy. There's 2 ways to look at it.
We'll evaluate that on a case-by-case basis. It depends on the narrative, too. WoodwardSports.com chat thread QT says Bimbo the birthday clown is better than the clown they have in East Lansing. Whoa.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's been a smattering of that. There has been. There's been a little bit of that.
Oh, is that towards the football? The end
I
of
would
the
think
game
so.
the other day?
And it's too bad that Spencer's path and Spencer's and my path won't cross.
How is Spencer doing today, by the way?
He's fine.
Okay.
Last I heard. It's unfortunate I won't be with the show tomorrow because Spencer deserves a talking to.
I will ask the question.
I will
hold the
Minister of
accountability. I will
accountability.
have to ask the question of what happened. What happened was, and maybe to your point about this conversation, has the narrative turned, and it's not going to change. But the questions about Dan Campbell have moved down to East Lansing.
It very much could be. Lions Odd says, why is there any talk about firing Dan? And Lions, there was. When you're 1-6 and you're circling the drain and you haven't won a road game in your entire NFL coaching career, there was talk about it. And it was justified to ask the question. I'm going to ask the question about J.J. McCarthy coming up in just a little bit. And it's valid. It's valid to ask the question. And that's what we do around here.
You had to look at it this way. We all agreed that Matt Patricia was wrong for the Detroit Lions. Then you bring in another guy who has a little bit better roster. How does his record become worse? So you had to at least talk about it. I wouldn't have made the move, but yeah, it was under discussion. If you can discuss getting rid of his offensive coordinator, discuss getting rid of his defensive coordinator, and then getting rid of his offensive coordinator and his defensive back coach, Aubrey Pleasant, why can't you at least discuss if Dan Campbell is the right guy when he's 4-18-1 or whatever the hell he was? You can have that discussion. It's not a crime.
You can have the discussion. Philippines on Demand. Neal, am I being censored on your show? I'm genuinely asking. No. Nobody had people. I don't censor people on here. Say what you want. I'll give you my thought. That's why you come to the show, right? That's why you watch the show. So whatever you want to talk about, man, let me know. Whatever you want to talk about, let me know, and we will do it. When we come back, we will talk here at Feldman Chevrolet with George Hawes, the general manager. Ryan Palter is under the weather.
No. Oh, yeah. I'd be under the weather, too, if I was 1-11.
And his picks are underwater. But we will. Boy, that's ill timed, right?
Yeah, I'd have the swine flu or something, man. I'm not coming on here.
The playoff push is on. Do you want to sit front row as the Detroit Lions begin the playoff push? Well, here you go. You and your crew. To enter, all you have to do, retweet, share the post that you see on your screen right now on Twitter, and tag 3 of your friends and family. Make sure all 3 of those people are following Woodward Sports. We are picking a winner tomorrow, Stick? Tomorrow? We are. Okay, the winner will be announced tomorrow. We're picking the winner tonight, so this is your final chance. You want to sit front row for the playoff push? Because that's what it is. You beat Buffalo. Whoa, man. You beat Buffalo.
No.
Oh, man.
Be old Nelly.
And you could be front row for it. All you got to do, retweet or share the post you see on your screen. Tag 3 of your friends or family. Make sure they're following Woodward Sports. And boom, you're in their front row. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. Thanksgiving football, the Buffalo Bills front row. You and your squad. Do it. Do it.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
I've been telling you about Guardian Alarm for the past few years now. Let them protect everything that is personal or business. Guardian Alarm, they will keep what is important to you safe and secure, 24/7 protection. But if you want to be part of the Big D Energy family, I need you to give them a call today. That's 1-800 Stay out. I'll give it to you again. 1-800 Stay out.
Help.
How many straight days of flannel protection, even though he's off? He's not doing it because he's off camera. 160 straight days. Terry calls BS because he thinks it's more. Anyways, 1-800 Stay out. Give him a call today. Guardian Alarm. It's the only way to protect your stuff. Tell them Woodward Sports we sent you.
Back out of here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Alex Westfall. We are live at Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. And usually you guys know the drill. We give you the picks on Fridays. Mondays we have the reaction to the picks. And usually it's our guy, Ryan Palter, who's the sales manager here at Feldman Chevrolet. Under the weather as of right now, I have been told.
Wink.
But we have gone to the bullpen. It is George Hawes. He is the general manager here at Feldman Chevrolet. George, appreciate you taking some time. And look, this isn't a time to poke fun at Ryan Palter and his picks. It's a time for love, and it's a time to help him.
Yeah, I think that's why he's sick after looking at his picks the
Sick
last
of
3
losing.
weeks. Exactly. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's thinking lately.
He is 1-11 in his last 10. The analytics really do slap you in the face. And George, look, I tried to help him again last week. He walked into that UCLA pick, walked right into it, walked into the TCU pick, walked into the Oklahoma State pick. George, can you help him, George?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here's what we should do. We should let him pick, and then we do the exact opposite. That's what I do at work with him.
Some
a lot
of us
times
do.
Too, you know.
Well, George, you know what? On the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, somebody earlier talked about that. And if you were going to do that, Feldman, I mean, you guys have dealerships all over the place. You might have to get an affiliation with a Lamborghini dealership then, because you'll be selling lots of those if people faded Ryan's
Exactly right. If you're placing any wagers, whatever Ryan says, do the opposite. You'll be all set.
No, absolutely. But, you know, George, again, you know, you look at it, Darren McCarty and Terry Foster both had the Detroit Lions. Your take on the Detroit Lions?
Listen, what I like to see is that the second half, we're not getting out-coached. And that's, you look at the games that we were ahead of the half, and that's what I always look at. And that's why I think I go back to Michigan. Michigan, their second halves are typically, besides this weekend, better than the first half, and that tells me that they're making the proper adjustments and they're analyzing what's going on. And I think for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I think we've done the proper stuff in the second half, and we're winning a few games.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking to George Hawes here. He is the general manager of Feldman Chevrolet. We're live at Feldman Chevrolet in Novi. And, you know, we'll be doing the picks again. We'll have that set up for you. I think we're going to do it on Wednesday this week. Are you going to step in for the picks and help Ryan this week?
Yeah, I'm making the picks. I'm going to have my dog pick them first, and then we'll see what he does, you know.
D-Mac, did you hear the conviction in his voice? He was almost offended that I asked, are you making? He's like, yeah, I'll make the picks.
Well, I think if I remember correctly, didn't Ryan throw Malcolm under the bus that he went with his picks this week? So he's totally checked out.
Right.
So you know what? I don't know why you wouldn't go to George, your GM, the guy that keeps things here at Feldman running smoothly, which, by the way, you guys are just pumping cars out left and right, aren't you, with some of the great deals and stuff?
Yeah, I have a great team, and we knock on wood, we're doing great. We got plenty of cars to sell, so come on down and see us, and we'll take great care of you.
Real quick.
I got the tough question to ask you though.
Let's hear
Is
it.
Ryan in danger of losing his job?
No, if it was anything to do with his picks, he'd be out already.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Malcolm, that Oklahoma State, I watched that game was like 50-0 before I even got done with my appetizer at the restaurant when I was watching the game.
Yeah. Oh, I guess they miss Malcolm. I guess that's the way of thinking of it that way.
Exactly.
George, real quick before we let you go here, I'm kind of kicking around the notion of maybe doing the EV route. What's the story with the EVs here at Feldman Chevrolet?
Listen, you know, we've been getting some stuff in, and we got the Silverado coming and the Equinox, and I'm excited for it. I mean, you drive one of those cars, it's amazing. It's like driving a spaceship. And, I mean, they're going to it. We're going to fully participate in it. We're upgrading our facilities to, you know, for charging and stuff like that. So, you know, I've been doing this for a long time, and it's a little different for me. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be great for our customer base.
George, appreciate you stepping on instead of Ryan Poulter, man. We'll get your picks on Wednesday.
That sounds good to me, guys.
George Hawes, everybody. He is the general manager here at Feldman Chevrolet.
Thanks,
We appreciate his time. But, you know, just kind of recapping the picks, by the way. Old Darren McCarty, 3-0. How about this, guys? 18 picks in the last 6 weeks. The math checks out, right? We pick 3 games a week. Last 6 weeks, D-Mac is 15-3.
Damn, shut your mouth.
15-3. He's 19-8 overall. He sits atop the standings. Terry Foster at 17-8-2. I'm 15-11-1. Ryan is 11-16. It's looking pretty bleak.
When are you going to
for him.
figure out it's not 2012 D-Mac? This is 2022 D-Mac. I mean, this is new and improved. And you know what? Here's the thing. You know, we talked about this when we talked about gambling or whatever. You, with the draft capital salary cap, but we talk about that all the time. But in sports gambling, there's certain trends, right, that seem to work out. And when you see it in a line, it pops out to you. I think that, and sometimes you ride those trends.
All right, D-Mac, don't lie to me. Be as truthful as you can to me. All
When
right.
am I not honest? I only lie to girls, Terry. You know that.
I'm asking
doesn't
you
even
the
do
tough
that
question.
anymore.
I don't do that anymore. 2022, D-Mac. Here you go.
All right, what LA bookie are you dealing with?
Absolutely not. These are all my picks.
Okay.
Go through them and,
And
stuff
what's
like
amazing
that.
about it, like I'll ask him, I'll say, hey, D-Mac, I need the picks. And he gives me 3 names, like off the top of his head, and he's 15-3.
I don't
That's
give
'cause
you
he's
3 off the
already
top of my
talked
head.
to Vegas.
I've looked
I know.
at names to have.
It's
You
a
know,
better-
like
it's a
last
better
week,
story if you went with that,
here's the
D-Mac.
thing. And honestly, I don't see anybody else's picks, right? Like you can attest
No,
to that.
yeah.
We don't see everybody else's picks. So when the one I was worried about the most this weekend was Detroit. But when you had them pick 2, I had the confidence level. So you know what, T-Fuss? Thank you, brother.
Bam.
Appreciate you. So
And
I
I'm
can't
just-
get there by myself. But it's the whole here. I tell everybody else. So the trend about double digits, right? This is a 1-score league. That's extreme. I didn't think Carolina was going to win, but that plus 13 in a game where it's cold. How many total points?
30
you need?
tops. There'd be
There's-
30 tops.
There's different things
Yeah.
to do. So, I mean, here to be quite honest, I don't bet anymore. So it's great to whatever like that. I've gone through that, so I don't even worry about the record is. But if it helps you out, but it can soon as heck it's gambling, it can go the other way.
Yes. I had the Chargers. I've taken the Chargers the last 3 weeks, and I haven't lost.
See, you nailed another one.
Yeah.
Right? Where you said that the NFL right now, when a team gets 5.5, 6 or whatever, you automatically should take them because it seems like it works out.
More often than not.
That's another
Yeah.
trend. More often than not.
More often than not. And then T-Foss hit one that I was mad at myself that I didn't get on. Indianapolis was +7 against the Eagles. The Eagles could not continue that turnover margin. It's not possible to be a +17 in the turnover margin. They had 4 fumbles in the game. They lost 2 of them. Those are the little things, guys. Like when I talk about basketball and free throws, turnovers in football are the free throws of basketball. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that are pretty reliable. You can't handicap them per se, but you can get in that zone where you get the feel for where they're going to happen. And you're going to see this with Philadelphia. They're going to turn the football over. The Giants are another team that's going to turn the football over a pretty good amount coming down the stretch. Daniel Jones is not a 2-turnover in 10 games guy. He's not. He's a turnover factory. Now, there were supply chain shortages at Daniel Jones Turnovers, Inc., but those machines were fired back up this weekend. Teams are going to turn the football over, Terry, that haven't
is
so
true.
far.
I was most nervous about the Indy pick because of Jeff Saturday. Is he really a coach? But I lost on
But don't
Minnesota.
you see?
Terry, that
got
was
killed on that one.
I had a gaffe, which we'll talk about when we come back, but you had a gaffe walking into Minnesota on that one.
That's because I don't respect Dallas. The rake hit me right in the head.
So maybe you'll understand how Neal and I feel about Penn State because of the coach, right, Neal?
Sure.
That's like where we always stand. That's sort of like Terry's.
Yeah, I was like on
Dallas.
Home Alone when the rake came up, bam, hit it right in the face.
Rad Dad Scott said, Neal, do you enjoy how crappy the Wings played over the weekends? It was nice. They answered the bell. They did.
Still questions. There's always going to be questions with this Young's team, but when you come off the road at 2-1-1, right? When we're asking, can you bounce back? That's what we're talking about. We're looking at the Lions as an NFL team. Well, that's what real teams do in the NHL. So hats off to them. Get back at it Wednesday night against Nashville at home.
Somebody else on WoodwardSports.com chat thread said Moody's draft stock is rising. And Sam, I've said this before.
Money.
And look, Badgley's been perfect, right?
Yeah.
No questions. And he even makes his field goals and extra points like right down the middle, too.
Yeah.
There's not even a sweat to it.
Yeah.
I would go 1 round above market to take Moody.
Oh, 100%.
I would.
Well, because here's the thing, Neal. That's a Jason Hansen.
Right.
That's a 20-year guy right there. That's what your
1
mentality
to 2
is.
rounds above market.
If you're going to get a guy that you don't have to draft for another 10, 20, 15, 20 years, right, that you believe in that.
But is it Moody or is it Mario Kart?
I think it's Moody.
Is it
Luigi?
He looks more like Mario Kart, man.
We'll get him a hat, though.
Yeah,
Who cares as long as he's... And, Neal, to your point, they're Justin Tucker-ish. Right down
the middle.
Like that does not remind you of Justin Tucker, who is probably the best kicker.
Absolutely.
That Maher kid's good though.
Yeah, I would go and draft him, and you're cool. Whatever rounds they call for, it was 5th round. I'm comfortable. I would invest a decent draft pick because you solidify the position.
That's why I'm saying if you believe that this is your guy.
That's my Sewell of kickers. I draft him, I forget about that for the next 10 years.
Moody and Fox.
Make sure you drafted some linebackers before.
Well, of course.
He didn't say first round, Terry.
I know it, but
you're right.
But he gets real happy and everything, and I just don't want you to, lose focus on the prize.
No one's talked about, though, but Badgley's been good, man. Like, you don't have to sweat it. That's what's pretty impressive about it. I mean, not as impressive as a 99-cent big boy, per se. That's tomorrow, right? November 22nd? It's tomorrow? Can we confirm?
Oh, you're going to miss out? I'm going to text. We're going big boy after. We're going big boy after the show tomorrow.
And the reason you're going to Big Boy, it's 99-cent Big Boy Day. All you got to do, roll into your local participating Big Boy, purchase a Pepsi, boom, 99-cent Big Boy hamburger. You don't want to lose money, right? Especially in this economy, you don't want to lose money. So go get your 99-cent Big Boy tomorrow with the purchase of a Pepsi. You can satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy. Go to bigboy.com. Find out the full details and all the participating locations. 99-cent Big Boy, everybody, with the purchase of a Pepsi. If you don't go, then I can't help you anymore. It's Big Boy.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning, where you find the cleanest salons in the D with spotless, sanitized rooms with trained and certified tanning professionals. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Join the Pepper Club. Get all the best deals. They'll beat all the competitors' prices by at least $5. You can get your Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Caltan, and Swedish Beauty lotions as well. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. That's the website. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. They are your vitamin D headquarters. 27 locations, more on the way. It's Chili Peppers Tanning, y'all. Coming down the stretch here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Westy, Alex Westfall as well. We do have to talk some college football. Michigan escapes against mighty Illinois and Brett Bielema. It was funny. I was surfing around online, and I saw our buddy Chris Castanelli from Barstool did like a post-game video about the Michigan game, and he talked about Brett Bielema, and he goes, he's a good Big Ten coach. That's a perfect way to sum up Brett Bielema. He's a good Big Ten coach.
Good Big Ten West Division coach.
Yeah, absolutely. But Michigan does escape. I looked down right away, Clomp Sauce. Same escape Ohio State had with Maryland.
I mean, they both escaped. But at the end of the day, they both avoided disaster so that the big game can be, they're both
Ohio
undefeated.
State did have a double-digit win on the road.
Well, I mean, that was...
They did.
I mean, I guess technically that's true, but it was really... That game was close all the time.
But it was Maryland.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Here's my take on this whole thing.
Maryland on the road, because as you guys can attend to, Maryland can be difficult to play against, right?
I mean, we beat them by 7, so yeah.
At home.
At home, absolutely.
No, but we do. We have to get into it because, A, I'm not going to be here. I'll be gone the rest of this week away for my other job. And we do have to have the Michigan-Ohio State discussion. And to me, it starts right here. And I know everyone's going to run to the Blake Corum stuff. And Sam Flannel, I have to ask you, and we have to isolate on you for this one. When is it fair for me to ask the question, is J.J. McCarthy just mid?
It's been fair for about 2-3 weeks by now.
Okay, so we're past the Heisman.
100%.
We're past him being in New York for the Heisman.
100%.
And we're approaching the discussion about, and I'm being for real. Like I'm not show jacking you or anything like that. I'm being serious about it because I'm just not seeing it.
Oh. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, honestly, if Cade McNamara were the quarterback of this team, they would also be 11-0. The one thing about J.J. McCarthy that he did do, just to give him a little bit of credit, we're on 2 fourth-down, gotta-have-it throws. He did make them, but he was missing all kinds of throws, missing guys long, throws that would have been touchdowns, that would have won the game. It kind of shows that what their offense can look like when Blake Corum goes down, when Donovan Edwards is out. And honestly, it's not looking good. If they're not full strength, there's no chance they go into Columbus and beat Ohio State. And one of the reasons is because J.J. McCarthy can't.
That's not what I was told, man.
No, I know.
I was told it's 5 stars, and it's J.J., and it's watch the laser show, and it's the arm and the legs and all that. That's not what I was told, man.
It wasn't. And that's
You need to stop listening to Michigan fans, because Michigan fans have a history of telling you how great someone's going to be, and they've never seen them play.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely worried about J.J. McCarthy because at least for this year, he absolutely is mid. Can he improve next year? Who knows? But this year, he's 100%
they're playing
mid.
Ohio State on Saturday.
Yes.
Like, that's what it is. Michigan, a 7.5-point underdog in that game. So GW, the kid, WoodwardSports.com chat thread says he's not even mid. So, D-Mac, I'll ask you this. The way he's playing right now, can you go into Columbus? Because, and here, again, guys, you know how I do this. I like to work backwards. To win that game in Columbus, you're going to have to get in the 30s. At a minimum, you're going to have to get in the 30s. Can he do that? Can he be the first Michigan quarterback since 2000 to do it?
They could still win because Blake Corum could go off for 250 if he's healthy. Now, the injury to him and how bad his knee is and does he get re-injured and stuff? I think Flannel nailed it as far as without this team. You saw Shoemaker was out. You saw this team needs to be healthy. J.J. McCarthy doesn't make them take them to the next level that the elite quarterbacks do, right? Like C.J. Stroud on the other side shows you, like, go out and win a game. The question is, do you believe J.J. McCarthy, when it comes down to it, can make that throw? To me, what I'll give him credit. The game management and his decision-making, he looks like a quarterback when he decides to run at different times, but he'll miss those throws.
Excuse me, young man. Did you say the word game management for J.J. McCarthy?
No, I said that. What?
No. Because I was told he's not a game manager.
He's a 5-star.
He's a 5-star.
But what I'm saying, so my eyeball test if he's a game manager is wrong?
No, it's correct.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So why you already told me not to go by what Michigan people tell.
I know, but I'm making fun of them.
I understand, but what I'm saying. But here's the thing, right? All year, we've wanted him to throw it downfield. He can't complete that pass. Is it gonna happen miraculously in Ohio State? Well, if they're a team of destiny, maybe. But I doubt it. So the only way that they can win is being healthy, and Donovan Edwards and Blake Corum absolutely taking the run game like the Lions did yesterday in New York. That's the game that they have to play to win. J.J. McCarthy, no. I don't think he's the reason you're going to – he's the reason why you could win the game, but it looks like it's more of a reason why you would lose it.
You asked the question, can he be the reason that Michigan wins at Ohio State? No. But he can be the quarterback that beats Ohio State. It's not, we'll have the same conversation you had with.
He's going to have to be, though, Terry.
No, he doesn't.
Terry, will they have to get in the 30s to win that game?
Yes, but even if he's playing well, do you know what Jim Harbaugh is going to do? He's going to try to shove that ball up Ohio State's ass because that's what he does. He's done that every game.
Here's where it's different. See, like everyone is acting like everything's going to be the same. You are on the road. I know that's a new concept to Michigan fans, and you struggle to understand that sometimes. You're one of the least penalized teams in America. But, I don't know, 15% of your penalties came in the game at Indiana. Things work differently. Like that penalty that they got away with on the pick play? Right, Sam Flannel? You know that one?
It wasn't called. What penalty? What are you talking about?
Right. And you know what? That's fair. When you're at home, that's the way it works.
Bruh.
I'm not hating on it.
Bruh.
I'm not hating on it. What?
Are you going to fire Jim Harbaugh before the Ohio State game?
No, no.
No, but this is the way he coaches. I don't know why people think they're not going to go up top often.
if you run the ball 20 times, you're going to get called for 4 holding penalties.
I mean, I don't know about
Sam
4.
Flannel. You are, my friend.
That's true, but I still think they have a decided advantage in the trenches. That's why I don't think JJ will have to go off for them to get to 30. He just can't turn the football over. You might have to make a throw or two, which JJ McCarthy can do. He just can't lose the game for him. He can't have that terrible turnover. But Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards, if they're healthy behind a healthy offensive line, I think they can do to Ohio State something similar to what they did last year and still get in the 30s. And hell, if their defense is healthy, maybe they can get after C.J. Stroud. Mike Morris didn't play last week. They obviously missed him. He has stepped up big. A healthy Michigan team absolutely can beat Ohio State no matter how J.J. plays, as long as he's not the reason for
I
losing
disagree.
it.
At some point, he's going to have to play. You've gotten away with it because you've been a double-digit favorite in every game you've played. That's why you've gotten away with it.
But Ohio State is not Ohio State.
And that I agree with, too.
Eyeball test. This is going to be a good game. But just because they're both either injuries or whatever, but Ohio State ain't the killer that they were. Now, the advantage is they're playing in the horseshoe, tough place to play. But, Terry, I agree with you. J.J. McCarthy could be the guy to beat Ohio State in Ohio State. This could be the Michigan team. I think they have as good a chance as they've had going into Ohio State as of late. So,
or they can win at Ohio State despite J.J. McCarthy.
Or they can do that too because they have that built up. But to Sam Flannel, if they're healthy, doesn't look like they're going to be completely healthy. So now what?
That's the problem because you saw what their offense looked like, and even their defense to some extent with that, when they weren't at full strength last week. They were lucky to escape with a win at home versus Illinois, and I'm glad that they did. I'm really glad that they won, so I didn't have to come in here and basically set my team on fire. You have to sometimes escape, but I wasn't encouraged.
Yeah, but at some
Neal
point,
would have set you on fire.
That's very true.
At some point, though, and again, I know what happened in the second half. Losing at Rutgers, the Maryland game, all of it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at some point you have to play well in order to be expected to play well.
I mean, they've played well at times this year. They've been dominant in a lot of second halves. There's a lot of recency bias because they look terrible against Illinois the whole game. They probably should have lost that game. And even Chase Brown of Illinois, he ran up and down the field for the most part that game.
Tell them about Swiss, then I got a question for you about Corum.
Absolutely, but not Mushroom and Swiss. Swiss Insurance Group and their employees are heavily involved in their community. It is very rewarding, but comes with great responsibility. If you send a local youth sports board, homeowners association, or a volunteer coach, directors and officers insurance is a must. Make sure the kids, parents, and volunteers are protected. Call Swiss Insurance.
Thanksgiving is all about family and friends. That's why Woodward Sports wants to send you and your crew front row for the Thanksgiving Day football game.
Easy there. Hey, it's Thanksgiving. Shouldn't you be in Detroit losing a football game right now?
That's right, you and 3 people that you're thankful for sitting in row number 1. So close you can hear the action, smell the excitement, and taste the glory of Detroit football. All you have to do to enter is retweet or share our post on Twitter and IG and tag 3 of your friends or family. If all 3 of those people are following Woodward Sports 2 and we pick your name, you and your crew will all get the best seats inside Ford Field. So hop on Twitter and Instagram and tag your crew. And we'll see you Thanksgiving Day at Ford Field. Brought to you by Lady Jane's and Custom Health Centers.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Catch. Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
The Monroe Street Midway is back for the winter season. Get ready to experience Detroit in the winter around Christmas time. They've got an indoor arcade, puck putt, winter bumper cars, and a giant Arctic slide. Come experience Christmas in Detroit and do it right. Go visit, and if you want to learn more information, go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
The show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, live at Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer. Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, not Spencer Baxter, Alex Westfall. Instinct takes over sometimes, guys. Not to shortchange you, Alex. Great job.
Well, they kind of look alike.
They do. They have the same build. We will say it like that. But, yeah, just chopping it up right now. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. AC says, Mr. Ruhl, sir, Ryan Ermanni told me to bet the house on JJ being in New York. I'm down bad. My wife has now taken the kids to the in-laws, and I'm here in my underwear watching reruns of Sanford and Son. Sounds like a tough existence.
Let me give people another piece of advice. Never listen to Ryan Ermanni. Ever.
Well, yeah, there is some bias. There's some bias. You got to understand where the source comes from. So apologize to where is he in his shoebox right now without the kids and stuff?
I feel sorry for you.
Honolulu Blue Sparty. Neal's taking Flannel's U of M Slappy fan card with logic. Well, that's the way that always works around here, guys, especially when you're talking about Michigan. Ermanni. Dom Rivera, 88. So nice hearing possibilities. I might watch Ermanni backtrack again and get back on the Lions bus. See, I told you they'd be good this year.
New information. It's all about that new information. Call it as you see it.
Well, he did say they were going to win the division.
That's not going to happen. That's over.
That'd be like saying Nebraska's going to win 9 games.
Which I did say.
Yeah.
God, they're bad.
Are we done with the Blake Corum, New York thing, Heisman thing, or
Absolutely not.
No?
Why would we be?
Because he's not even the best running back in the Big Ten.
Muhammad Ibrahim. Have you seen the schedule that he's played?
Yeah, it's pretty comparable to Blake Corum's.
No.
With less home games.
No. Their best.
With more yards and more touchdowns in one less game, too.
And also coming off a loss to Iowa. They literally don't play Ohio State and Michigan in their toughest out-of-conference game.
Do you love a Michigan fan talking about someone else's schedule?
But I'm going to support him on this. Blake Corum, more yards per carry.
No, absolutely right. And Blake Corum has done it on an undefeated team. He has rushed for over 100 yards and a touchdown.
What's the signature game? Because I watched Ibrahim get 250,000 yards on Saturday.
I mean, Blake Corum got 243 against Maryland. I think that's kind of comparable. I mean, 177 against Michigan State, 160 and a 60-yard touchdown against Penn State. I'm just saying he's had some damn good games. He's consistent. He's like a hammer.
And then Bijan Robinson, too, got a 250,000 yards.
Blake Corum goes for 3 touchdowns and 180 in Ohio State,
absolutely,
you will see him.
Yeah. You have to have a signature moment.
Recency bias, plus he's still got a game. Don't throw him out yet because he's still got that game, Neal, and you know that.
You know what?
If he goes off for 200, 3 scores, they win or whatever, what have you done for me lately? Do you not see that? To your point, you're right. As far as facts are facts.
Yeah.
But I'm saying perception is reality when it comes to the NCAA.
I don't think Blake Corum is a serious candidate to win the Heisman.
No.
Because of these
great.
Wasn't the
but
question
you need him
go
in
to
New
New
York
York?
because it drives the ratings. Because Sam Flannel will lock in.
No.
Will you watch the Heisman ceremony if Blake Corum's in it?
Well, of course I will.
Will you watch it if he's not?
Probably because I'm a college football junkie, but I know a lot of
hesitation.
Did you hear? I was like, of course,
but
probably.
But think about this, Neal. Here's something that we also have to consider. Everybody's precious Drake May. Did you see how he played? He was awful.
As soon as the lights came on him. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Home against Georgia Tech. And Hendon Hooker, unfortunately, he's out for the season. Tennessee had a really bad loss to South Carolina. So I think that leaves a very big opening for a guy like Blake Corum. Like a Blake Corum, C.J. Stroud,
to get
Caleb
there
Williams.
or to win it?
Get there. But if he has like 180 and 3 touchdowns and Michigan beats Ohio State, then you can start talking about
Okay, I just wanted you to. I didn't know if you knew that Ibrahim had 250,000 yards this weekend, and so did Bijan Robinson.
Of course, a quarterback is going to win it. Now, you think Blake Corum should go to New York?
Yes.
I don't think he should.
I don't think so either.
Are you going to put him ahead of Hooker?
Yes.
Okay.
As of now.
Are you going to put him ahead of Caleb Williams?
Nope.
C.J. Stroud?
C.J. Stroud?
Nope.
Mohamed Ibrahim?
Yes.
Okay.
Why?
The running backs are out. There's no running
that's
back.
That's my point, Terry. Like, he's not the best running back in his conference.
But it's the Heisman Trophy. You can't play on a 4-loss Minnesota team.
You can't be the one running back there if you're not the best running back in your conference, man.
Mohamed Ibrahim plays on Minnesota, a 4-loss Minnesota team that just lost to Iowa. It's perception. You have to actually be – Blake Corum is on an undefeated team that could win the Big Ten, undefeated 13-0.
Who gets drafted first, Ibrahim or Corum?
Ibrahim, because
he's
got the size.
Who gets drafted first, Bijan Robinson or Corum?
That's actually not a good argument for your
That is
Heisman
true.
case because Heisman's are busts, so it's stats. Like, so what I'm saying is
I'm
that
just giving you
the
logic
best running
to it.
back never gets. But I'm saying that's not
Lions,
good because the Heisman Trophy.
Lions had Heisman Trophy winners.
They don't pay
Andre Ware and Steve Owens.
GW the kid says it's not a team award. See, that maybe are what it is to us is what's the hang up is, because to me it's the best player in college football. And he is not the best running back. The NFL draft will dictate that. The stats dictate that. So that's just me.
Well, but he's in the conversation.
But Neal, if say he goes off for 200 yards or 182, like
but we're talking about what
I got to see what Bijan
happened.
Robinson does. I got to see what Ibrahim does. Like, they still have games to play too. You know what I'm saying? Like, Blake Corum's not the only one in America playing.
I'm going after the tact of nobody cares about their stats to whatever. The fact that the Michigan brand, the fact Corum, the fact he did what he did.
You said the key word first. I don't buy into the Michigan brand. I go off reality.
Well, last year.
So if you don't if you don't buy into the Michigan brand,
right? Correct.
But you buy in like I do that there is Michigan brand bias.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So that's okay. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
But
like the second best defensive player went to New York last year.
I agree with that.
There's others bias also.
100%. The only thing missing for Michigan football is shareholders. They should sell
on
stock.
that note.
They should.
On that note, he's off on a private
absolutely.
plane.
That'll do it here from Feldman Chevrolet.
Good way to leave it.
Appreciate everybody tapping in. Huge viewership
Wednesday.
numbers today. Appreciate y'all. If you're just catching the show for the first time, welcome. Make sure you stay back in with us here on Woodward Sports Network. I'll be out the rest of the week. I will join the show on Wednesday. I will tap
Absolutely.
in.
You know what?
From
I
the
think
beach
tomorrow,
somewhere.
T-Foss, you're out. Neal, you're out.
We got.
I don't know who's Stick's driving the boat. You driving tomorrow? But whatever. but I was just saying that tune in. We'll do a couple hockey segments anyways for all you hockey fans. But big Lions victory Monday.
There you go. Absolutely. Appreciate everybody tapping in. For Terry Foster, for D-Mac, Sam Flannel, Alex Westfall, and Stick. My name's Neal Ruhl. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.
Bye-bye.